Welcome back, everyone. Mark Igo here alongside Bill Gaine, Executive Director of the MIAA, and Bill and I have known each other for just a couple of years, so we don't want to age ourselves here. But Bill, thanks again for joining us. What a tremendous event! Another great day, another St. Patrick's Day for high school hockey here at the TD Garden, and the MIAA and NFHS being a big part of this. And first two games, our first game was overtime, 3-2. Wellesley knocking off the Notre Dame Cougars, and then of course Wachusett winning their first state championship 3-2 as well. So just a thrilling day. But talk all about what so much goes into this. It's hard to cover in a quick 5-minute interview or something. But kudos to the MIA and your staff and everybody else that's involved here to make this such a wonderful time for the kids.
Thanks, Mike. This is a great opportunity to salute them for all they do and all our member schools for their allegiance and this great opportunity. This has been a month-long journey for a number of our MIA talented schools that have had this opportunity, and obviously this is the highlight of it, to get to the Garden for the state championships. 12 teams. We got a lot of teams that haven't made this scene for some time, so This is a thrill for them, and we're off to a great start with two great games, and looking forward to finishing the day in class.
Yeah, definitely. Just a whole classy organization from the TD Garden down, Amy Latimer and her crew, taking good care of us and the rest of the team. But so much going on with the MIA. Again, not enough time to talk about everything, but, we'll keep it to hockey here. So the 1A, you've got BC High against Pope Francis again. Rematch from the 2-1 overtime thriller last year. And then you've got Winchester and Duxbury as the nightcap. We got Tewksbury playing back-to-back here, so I know obviously the MIA had to do some organizing there. So talk about how that even comes about. Obviously Pope Francis, I assume, is playing earlier because of the travel. It is a school night. We all kind of forget about that.
Exactly.
But talk about the scheduling and how, what happens there in order to make all of this happen.
Well, obviously we know that this is a special opportunity for us, and we try to get the entire menu, 6 games in on one day. So that's an art, and we're able to do it with the patience of our member schools, because we start as early as 9 a.m. And that last game on paper goes off at a reasonable hour, but we're always concerned about it because, as you mentioned, it's a school night. But we've been very successful over the number of years to get them all in. We were delighted with the opportunity when we expanded to bring in the 2 girls divisions, and that's worked out. But with respect to the shuffle, there's a lot of thought in who's playing when. And the ingredients obviously have to do with mostly travel. There's been a little tradition into having the 1A either in the second to last or last game. But other than that, it's really an art. And also take into consideration, it does happen on occasion where we have 2 of the genders from the same school, and then we've got to respect them and their community by trying to do a back-to-back type of situation.
Sure, which makes sense, and you guys do a great job. So let's talk a little bit about the event you guys have every year over at Gillette and what that means to the MIA and the foundation itself. And I think it's 4 years now or 3 years.
Oh, you mean the football championships?
No, the dinner at Gillette that you guys do. The
sportsmanship.
Yeah, the sportsmanship summit.
No, listen. We just conducted our 25th annual sportsmanship summit.
Okay. Yep.
And I think it was the 12th consecutive one at Gillette Stadium. And that is really a tremendous tribute to our schools and kids. We have about 1,200 leaders. Most of them captains from our respective schools that come annually. And it's a great opportunity to demonstrate testimony to allegiance of sportsmanship. And in our schools, we have so much to be proud of. And obviously that pride, it does go back to member school administrators for their acceptance and insistence that we play the game like it should be played, and it is respect for self and respect for others. And that's got to be the most important thing that comes out of everything we do in the games we play. And it's been evident. Our track record in terms of sportsmanship, I would put up against anybody in the country.
It's great. And, we did have Don on from the NFHS, and, he spoke about the MIAA. I didn't realize there were 15 state associations doing high school hockey tournaments as well. So hockey's not, basketball or football, whatever. There is still a geography part to it and, participation, but that's a lot of participation, and the MIAA is, certainly a leader in regards to that. Everybody knows the MIAA really for sports. When we talk about the MIAA, it's usually associated with a tournament or games or things like that, but you guys do so much more than that with your, 5 pillars of what your foundation does, and the wellness and the sportsmanship and the coach's education. So talk a little bit about that, because I don't think fans really get to see a lot of that behind the scenes stuff, really behind the scenes to us, but not behind the scenes to you.
I'm pleased to. And it's really important to us, too, to get our messaging out with respect to the responsibilities that we assume as a state association. Yet we're clearly a regulatory association, so we have to have rules and regulations that our member schools will attest to. And our second major function is to establish and organize and put on these high school tournaments in every one of our sports, boys and girls. Incidentally, we've had our first girls wrestling tournament this winter, and obviously the latest before that was 2 years. 2 years ago we started rugby, both boys and girls. So I think we're in the only state association that has rugby as a high school tournament. But I will highlight the third dimension of who we are and what we do is our educational athletics curriculum. It's really, and the way I say things, why we play the games. And it is to teach life lessons through the vehicle of interscholastic athletics, and the foundation of this educational athletics curriculum is on those pillars of sportsmanship, teaching respect for self and other, wellness, helping kids make healthy life choices, student leadership, helping them become leaders, peer growth, that type of thing, making a difference in their school, their community, and their team, and community service. Community service, giving back to the community for the privilege to participate. And that's critical. And the underlying foundation of that, the fifth pillar, is coaching education. And what I mean by that is our own coaches, we refer to teacher coaches. They may have a great love for X's and O's. They might have great skills in that area, but they also have to understand what their responsibility is vis-a-vis teaching life lessons, and they become equipped with the programmatic and expectations in our educational athletics program, and that's what we hope to be able to have them roll out in their season-long plays.
Yeah. A lot more than just the rules and regulations, right? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And, we're glad to be a part of it. My Hockey Live and B-Big Communications involved with the MIAA now for many years, and really enjoy what we do. But I know you're a busy guy, and appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us a little bit about the MIAA and all that you do and everything that happens that most of our fans don't really get to see, so I think it's a good opportunity to communicate it.
I appreciate the opportunity and always appreciate the commitment by My Hockey Live and elevating this game and what it's all about. So
that's what it is all about.
Sir.
Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Thank you so much, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Jake Levin will be back with Rich McClone to carry you through the rest of the afternoon as we continue our coverage. We're into game number 3, so 3 more games to follow. 1 o'clock here is the Austin Prep Cougars against Tewksbury, Methuen Red Rangers, and they're 0-0 just about all through the first period of play. So we got another tight one that'll make Bill anxious as we get these 3-2 final scores. And then coming up at 3:15, we've got the Canton Bulldogs, undefeated boys Division II team, playing Tewksbury Redmond. As you said, Tewksbury back-to-back here. And then 5:45, we've got Pope Francis against BC High. And then 7:45, Winchester against Duxbury Dragons. So A lot of high school hockey here to be had today, but thanks to the TD Garden and everyone else that's involved with this. We'll be back with you momentarily.